Social media creates a perfect image of how people like you and me should be living. It creates a bridge between us and the person making the content. They show themselves in their best moments and we watch them with big and sometimes jealous eyes. Social media. We all have it and we all use it. And at some point, every single one of us has felt some kind of pressure because of it. But here's what I think is interesting. It wasn't always like that. I was born in the early 2000s, which means I'm one of the last generations that actually remembers life before social media was a thing. Like, genuinely remembers it. No Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter, just life. Going outside, seeing your friends in person, not documenting any of it. And then slowly it crept in, and nothing has been the same since. So today, I want to talk about what social media actually did to us. Not the surface level stuff you've heard 1,000 times, but the real psychological shift that happened. The one most people don't even notice because they're still living inside it. My first phone was when I was 13 years old, going into my first year of high school, and the only thing on it was Facebook, of the social media kind, which we didn't even really use. Like, I saw my friends every single day at school, we had nothing to really text about. Facebook was just kind of there, this weird digital notice board that nobody knew what to do with yet. And then Instagram arrived, and everything changed. Suddenly, it wasn't just about staying in touch, it was about image, about how you look to everyone else. And I remember, like it was yesterday, posting my first real Instagram photo and then spending the next hour checking it every 5 minutes. How many likes did I get? Who saw it? How does my profile look compared to his, compared to hers? And looking back at those photos now, a full decade later, me and my friends cannot stop laughing. We thought we were so cool. We were not cool. We were 14 with bad haircuts trying to look like we all had it all figured out. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? We were 14 and we were already performing for an audience. Here's what Instagram really introduced into all of our lives: an invisible standard, an unspoken rule that said only your best goes here. The good outfits, the good holidays, the good nights out, the moments where everything looks perfect. And the rest, you should hide it. Deal with it privately. Nobody wants to see that. And I felt that pressure personally. The moment I started caring more about how a photo looked to other people than whether actually I liked it, something had shifted. Social media had gone from being a fun way to share moments to being a full time performance. And here's the really dark part: the standard keeps on rising, because now with AI and editing technology, the quality of what people post is unreal. Like, literally unreal. Fake bodies, fake lighting, even fake lives. And we're all sitting there comparing our actual real lives to content that has been manufactured to look perfect. It's a rigged game, and most of us are playing it without even knowing the rules. But Instagram wasn't the only one doing this. Let me talk about Snapchat for a second, because Snapchat had a completely different problem, and somehow it was just as bad. The currency on Snapchat wasn't likes or followers, it was Snap Score and streaks. And I knew people, genuinely knew people, who were snapping dozens, sometimes hundreds of people every single day, not because they wanted to talk to them, not because they had anything to say to each other, but because they needed to keep their score up, because they needed to feel like they were the most connected person in their friend group. I remember asking a girl once why she snapped so many people every single day. She literally said to me that she felt like she had to do it, like it was a chore on her to do list. Snap 200 people, go to school, do homework, sleep, repeat. It was like it was part of her day. She couldn't even explain why. She just knew that if she stopped, she'd feel like she was missing out on something, or maybe she would feel lonely. But that is not real connection. That's an addiction to being dressed up for social media. And that word, addiction, is exactly what I think we need to start using more honestly. Because what all of these platforms have in common, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of them, is that they are engineered to make you addicted to attention. Every like is like a hit, every comment is like a hit, and every follower is also a hit. And your brain starts chasing that feeling, the same way it chases anything else that makes it feel good. And when you're addicted to attention, you'll do anything to keep it coming. and clearly only showing the parts of your life that you think people will respond to positively. So you never boast about the bad days, never boast about the struggle, never let anyone see that you're not okay, because you've been trained by the platform, by the culture around it, that vulnerability doesn't get likes, vulnerability doesn't go viral, and it doesn't make people comfortable. And so people walk around curating this perfect highlight reel of their life while privately falling apart, convincing everyone around them that everything is not only fine, but going perfectly well. Because admitting it's not fine would break the image they've spent years building. That's not living, that's exhausting. But here's where I want to offer something different, because I don't think the story ends there. I actually think social media is slowly, very slowly, correcting itself. And I see it every single day. More people making raw, unfiltered content. More creators showing the actual boring Tuesday, the hard mornings, the moments where nothing is going right. The Uber driver making a video about his shift, the regular person just talking to a camera about something real. And people love it because it's honest, because it feels like something you can actually relate to, instead of something that makes you feel worse about yourself. Instagram even added the ability to hide your like count, which sounds like a tiny thing, but genuinely changes the psychology of posting. When you can't see the number, you stop chasing the number, you start posting for yourself again. And that's the direction I want to see all of this go. Not less social media, but more honest social media, more human social media. Because the technology isn't the problem. It never was. The problem is how we've been conditioned to use it, and that conditioning can change. I want to be honest about my own relationship with it too. I'm not perfect. I still catch myself caring too much about how something looks before I post it. I still feel that little pull to check how something is performing. But I've gotten to a place where I genuinely post what I want, not what I think will get the most response, not what fits the aesthetic, but what I actually like. And that shift from performing for other people to just existing for yourself is one of the most freeing things I've ever experienced. Because here's the truth: the people in your life who actually matter, they don't care about your like count. They don't care about your follower count. They care about you, the real you, the one that exists outside of the screen. And that version of you is worth way more than any post you'll ever make. Social media isn't going anywhere. And honestly, I don't think it should. When it's used well, it's incredible. It connects people, creates communities, gives voice to people who would never have had one otherwise. That's genuinely powerful. But we have to be honest about what it's also done to us. The pressure it has created, the standards it has normalized, the addiction it has built into our daily lives. And the first step to changing your relationship with it is noticing it. Noticing when you're performing instead of living. Noticing when you're comparing instead of creating. And noticing when you're chasing a number instead of actually enjoying your life. You control the scroll, not the other way around. Drop a comment. Do you think social media has gone better or worse? I genuinely want to know where you stand on this. Like if this made you think, and subscribe to my channel for more honest videos like this one. Perception pending. I will see you next week.